All right, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Night Call, everybody. It is a pleasure to be with you. We're almost 50 participants, and we're from all over the United States. And we're excited. We're excited to be here tonight. Number one, coming off of SALT. Show of hands, who went to SALT? Say aye, say aye, say aye. And I loved that at SALT we talked about the mindset, the heart set, and the skill set. It was 2 days that for, I believe, so many reps, so many people, was a life-changing experience. And I'm just grateful to everybody that participated, everybody that trained, everybody that showed up, and everybody that showed up and played full out. And that's the perfect segue into what Jamie Cantrell has to share with us tonight. It's the difference between putting on the hat of being a rep and putting on the hat of becoming a leader and playing full out. Jamie is a 39 Club National Marketing Director, just returning from an amazing Eric Worre conference in Las Vegas. You know, and Eric Worre is the author of the book GoPro. And this is Jamie's second experience with Eric Worre. We were there together last year before Thanksgiving, and Jamie was so inspired by his message that she just spent like 5 days with him in Las Vegas, and it's pretty mind-altering information. So, Jamie, without further ado, thank you for sharing with us your experience, bringing it home, and so that we can have practical application of what you learned. Take it away, honey.
Thank you, Terry. And before I start, excuse me, tonight, I just want to thank you, as I did on the NMD Zoom today. And for those of you that had the opportunity to attend SALT this year, I want us just to pause for a second and reflect about the gift that we've been given to attend something like SALT. It's not easy to put together what Terry spent months articulating in her mind and her brain, and then just the logistics, her and Kathy Schlund teaming up to, and Jerry Moran teaming up to make it possible. Guys, I mean, knowing what we know, what we have here is very special. And Terry, I just need you to know that from the bottom of my heart, and I know I can speak for everybody on this call, whether you were at SALT or not, a very big gratitude extended for the time and love and energy that you and your team put into making it possible for us to be better people. So thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. I love you, girl.
I love spending time with Terry, and that kind of kicks off tonight's conversation. I will tell you this disclaimer. Several years ago, I was given a copy of the book GoPro, and I read the first 2 chapters and I put it down because I thought it was cheesy. I thought it was salesy. I thought Eric Worre was the typical used car salesman. That was me being the ultimate judger. I own it and I claim it. I have seen some of his videos and trainings over the year, and I took a piece here and I took a piece there. So I just wanted to put that out there. Whatever your opinion or your experience with any Eric Worre information, I want you for just tonight to put that aside. Some of you may love his work. I will be honest, I didn't when I first started. And I also want to provide the disclaimer, wherever you are in this business, whether you are a brand new representative or you are 100 Club NMD like Terry, if you're on this call tonight, that's significant that you're hungry. I don't know exactly what you're hungry for. And so my prayer as I prayed over this call tonight would be that you discover a piece of what you're hungry for. Because while this business is meant to love you exactly where you are, I will be very transparent. The only reason I was ever nudged to move forward is because Terry Luongo nudged me. And it was a gentle, loving nudge and a push to be better. And so tonight, I hope that this conversation between us can be that gentle nudge and push forward. I am going to present the only way I know how. I am a former athlete and a former coach. So I call it like it is. I'm pretty straight shooter. And for some of you that might be a little bit offensive, I pray that it's not, it's just who I am. And for others, you're ready for this conversation. And so if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I hope you're ready to go. I hope tonight is going to be a workshop for you, because I will tell you over the last few weeks, I was schooled. I was coached. And that is the only reason why I feel compelled to share this with each of you tonight. So Terry and I, a little backstory, went to Las Vegas, not to gamble, not to have some free time away from our family. In fact, it was probably one of the hardest things to do was to leave my family to spend the amount of money that we spent to go to this Eric Worre conference. And the conference was 10,000 people. So this wasn't an intimate gathering. It was designed to be very raw, exciting, energizing. But here's what was cool about it. The event itself was nothing like a Juice Plus event. You know, by design, every 6 months or so, we make the decision to go to a Juice Plus conference. And if you don't, I really need to ask you why you're not making the decision to go to the Juice Plus conference. We'll talk a little bit about what that means here in a minute. Now, sidebar, I did not go to the last one because my son broke his arm the day before I was supposed to go. So there are those times and places that come into, but conferences are non-negotiable. So this conference, I was searching for something. I was looking. I didn't really know what it was, but sitting there with Terry, I began to understand the enormity of the network marketing profession. And I'm going to ask each of you on this call, where are you in the paradigm of being a network marketing professional? Are you here because you just want to cover your costs, and that's fine? Are you here because you're interested in maybe progressing through the marketing plan? That's great too, but are you ready to make a decision to be a professional? And I'll be honest, I didn't know until recently that I was, and I'm 6 years into this journey as a 39 Club NMD. So we go to this conference and our hair was blown back, to use one of Terry's terms. We learned that it was possible to make 6 figures a month. We learned what true network marketing professionals do. And I got really curious. So curious that at that conference, Terry and I, looking back, might have been an asinine decision. But the brilliant thing about Eric Worre is that he promotes his next event while he's already in a current event. So Terry and I, almost winning a sports car by raffle, we were so jazzed to go to this next conference that we raised our hands, signed up, and really probably didn't even know what we signed up for. Is that right, Terry? I mean, we were just, it was so experiential. So I bought this ticket to something called Beyond Leadership that took place this past August. And I paid more money than I probably made to go. And I share that with you because here's something I want you to know. People will spend money and their time on something they see value on. And you will not tell me otherwise. At the end of the day, whether it is your customer making a decision about a product, or a potential you're trying to recruit for a team, or you yourself trying to make a decision about attending a conference, whatever that is for you, if you see value in it, you will spend the time and money to make it possible. End of story. End of story. So here we are, several months fast forwarded, and time has happened. The excitement of the Eric Worre conference has faded. And here we are coming into August. I share this with you because a lot has happened in my mindset since that conference. I have spent a summer with my kids. I had just gotten back from a great girls trip with some NMDs in South Carolina. I had already been away from my family and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to this conference. I actually, the night before, looked at my husband. I said, Sean, what if I just stayed home? He looked at me like I had a horn coming out of my head. He's like, you're going. And the only reason I went, you guys, and I'm not kidding when I tell you this, is because of the amount of money I spent to go. So what does that tell you about where my head was in going to this conference? I needed a serious mindset check. And I tell that to each of you tonight because we've all been there. Wherever you are in this journey, the ebbs, the flows, the highs and lows, doesn't matter if you're a DD or an NMD, you get your mind checked occasionally. And so I went dragging, heels in the ground, I actually booked my ticket to come home a day early. And I share that with you because I look back and I laugh. I laugh at how dumb I was being. So I go, I know not a soul. I don't even know where the hotel is. It's off the beaten path. And I get there and I check in and I'm nervous. I mean, I want you guys to put yourself in this position. You go to a conference, you know not a soul. You know that you kind of slacked off in the summer on your business. And you know that your reputation and your confidence is going to be checked at the door. I walk in and I became a different person. And I want you to think about in those moments when you're afraid and where you don't have confidence and the mindset upstairs starts to tell you lies and tricks. And I want you to pay attention to how you act. You know, I want you to pay, because here's what I did. I made myself really small. I was really giddy and probably over nice to people because I was assuming everybody in that room made a heck of a lot more money and were far more skilled and advanced than I was. How many of you, show of hands, can understand what I'm talking about? How many of you have gone into a room and have felt like you weren't worthy? And then you acted like somebody you didn't recognize. I'm almost embarrassed to admit how I acted, right? So I get into this room, I'm taking my jacket off, guys, coaching hat's coming out, right? And I felt like everybody was better. And so Eric sits us all down. There's about 100 of us in this room, quite a big difference from this 10,000 conference we go to. And he starts asking people in the room what they make on a monthly basis. Oh my gosh. I sat in the way back of the room and whoa. Can you guys still hear me and see me?
I can hear you, Jamie.
Okay. Hold on. Kyla Bingham, unshare your screen, sweetheart, if you get a chance.
Accidentally hit something. Sorry.
You're okay. Hit stop share on the bottom. There you go.
There we go.
And so, you know, here I am. Terry and I talked about it before I left. I'm going to sit in the way back of the room because I don't know a soul. He starts going around asking people what they're making. And guess what, you guys? Let me provide this thought process. I'm not talking about the fact that people are throwing out what they make to be flashy, to be braggy. That's not what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started hearing people saying they make $200,000 a month, $200,000 a month. I know, Rosemary, I just saw your eyes get really big. I said to myself, you know what I said to myself? There's no freaking way I could do that. That's the kind of language upstairs that I was telling myself. Then I was introduced to a woman who makes $2.5 million a year. Guys, I see the head shaking and the eyes, and I know each of you are doing exactly what I did in that moment. I said, there's no way. They must have better skills. They must work their tails off. They must not have a life. I started making all these rationalizations in my head because you know what? I didn't measure up. So as the conference goes on, I realize that everybody in that room is no different than I am. Their personalities aren't better. Their stories aren't better. We're equal. But something was different about what they were doing. That thing I was looking for months ago, I had found. I was looking for business strategies and advice. The Juice Plus company has been fantastic. I have the best upline in the company. But I needed to go and make a business professional out of myself. And I will share with you this. You can do this business a million different ways. You can try this, you can try that. But at the end of the day, the most important thing for each of you, if you want to do well in this business, and you define your well, whatever that looks like, but be a professional. Anything less than that, you're selling yourself short and you're playing small. God did not create us to play small in this world. He didn't. And so here's what I learned before I get into the nuts and bolts. If you really want to be a network marketing professional, you must figure out a way to get fed. You must figure it out. Some of you are reading Rachel Hollis books. Great for your for your heart set, your mindset? What are you doing for your business set? Some of you have done the Bob Samara route. Some of you watch podcasts. Whatever it is, find a coach. I'm a coach. I need a coach. And it's unfair of me to ask Terry Luongo to be my business coach every day. She coaches me in a lot of ways, but find a way to get fed. And if you're not interested, that's fine. Understand this. You will be exactly where you are today a year from now. If you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. If you don't find some way to get fed from a business perspective, you're playing small. The second thing is that there is great value in business training outside of the Juice Plus arena. The third thing is pay attention to your self-limiting beliefs. This is where I want to get real with you guys here for just a second. I told myself I could not be a network marketing professional and be a good mom at the same time. I told myself that something had to give. I told myself that my husband deserves me being home and helping with the family before he deserves me being out making money. I told myself that men, professional men, were too good to become part of my team. People that were strong in their industry, whatever they did, would not be interested in what I have to offer. I had to be exposed to the self-limiting beliefs that I was carrying, because getting through those beliefs was the only thing that would propel my business moving forward. So I ask you these questions right now. What are the lies that you're telling yourself? That you don't deserve this business, that you don't deserve independence, that you don't deserve money, that you don't deserve, what is it? That you don't deserve to talk to people because you don't want to be pushy or salesy. Whatever you tell yourself, I want you to check it at the door, because it's not true. The last thing is pay attention to how you play small. That call you should have made, the follow-up that you should have done but got too busy, and then I want you to change it. I want you to do something about it. And then I want you to check back in with me the next time we have this conversation, and I want to know how you've changed. So here's the reality, folks, is that we have a global movement in our hands. There are billions and billions of people in this world, and I'm going to tell you Juice Plus is at the point of obscurity, meaning we have less than a 3% penetration of Juice Plus globally. People don't know about it. Mm-hmm. So the reality is, we have a lot of opportunity. And if you're going to tell me you try talking to 10 or 15 people a month out of billions of people, then I'm going to tell you you're playing small. I'm also going to tell you that Juice Plus, because it's an obscurity, get excited about it now before it becomes a household name, before it becomes popular, because then it's too late, in a sense. Get in while the going is good and hot, at the bottom of the S curve. All right? So the first thing I also share with you is, one thing is the world, like I said, the world is not served by you playing small. It makes me sad. I wrote this down. It makes me sad to see any of us play small. It's like sending a Kentucky Derby horse to the glue factory is how I look at it, right? So the first thing I want you to write down is be stronger. Be stronger. What do I mean by that? You're like, well, do I need to go to the gym? Work out? No. Make a personal commitment to you to not apologize for your conviction. You know, when I drop my kids off to school or I go to their school events, I used to not really mention PCA because I didn't want to be at PCA, I didn't want to mention Juice Plus because I didn't want to be that person. And I realized how selfish I was being. Does it surprise any of you to see how small I was playing? Does that resonate with any of you here? And I realized that I made a personal commitment to not apologize for being a network marketing professional. And guess what happened? The conversations that I'm having at my kids' school now, I'm confident. And people responding to confidence. They don't respond to weakness. Mm-hmm. So I need you to think about the scenarios where you need some strength. You each have them. What does it look like for you? 4 questions that I want you to write down. 4 questions. This will show you whether you are a distributor or you are really moving to being a professional business owner and network marketing professional. Question number 1, what got you in the game in the first place? What got you in the game? Go back to that place when you said yes to the business. I remember when Terry Luongo asked me how much money I want to make, and I shuddered at that idea. I pushed back from the table. I said, it's not about the money. You know what it was? I wanted to make money, but I realized I want to make money because what I can do with that money. There's a lot I want to do for people and my family with that money. Second question, what's keeping you in the game? Why are you here tonight on this call? Why do you take 30 minutes out of your night? What's keeping you in the game? Motivation and motive is important here. Discover what your motivation is. Question number 3, how many lines of significance do you have in your business? If you're not sure what a line is, talk to your upline. How many lines of significance do you have in your business? Fourth question, how many customers do you have in your organization? And this is my favorite part. Should you have goals around any of these last 2 questions, or should you have any goals, you need to answer these questions and understand, do your goals line up with your expectations line up with those answers? Let me repeat that. Based on your answers, how many lines of significance, how many customers do you have? What you want from this business or your expectation, does it line up with these answers? The second bullet point I'm going to talk to you about is move faster. And I realize that I have 7 minutes left, so I will move faster. Speed and velocity is attractive. Make no bones about it. Why do we like to follow the Casey Schlosses of the world, the Jamie Kenzies, the Brandy Fosses in this organization? Why are we encapsulated by them? Because the universe loves speed. Create a culture in your organization of speed. And do not apologize for it. You have a brand new rep that comes in, expect them to hit their HLP in 72 hours or less. Don't shy away from it because you're trying to be kind or be nice. Be kind and be nice is to show them how this marketing plan is done well. Show them what they don't know yet. Focus on how many people you have coming to conference. I love this quote, amateurs ask, professionals promote. Here's an exercise for you. Take your annual Juice Plus income. Your annual Juice Plus income, write it down. What do you make on an annual basis? There's no amount here that should be bashful or shy about. And then I want you to divide that number by how many people you have coming to the national conference in your organization. So let's say you make $50,000 a year and you have 2 people coming to the national conference. That's $25,000 per person coming to the national conference based on Eric Worre's algorithms and years in network marketing. You should see value in having people come to your national conference because of the price tag that each one of them represents in your business. How many people, what is it worth? How many people in your organization? What does it mean to have someone new come? So for example, let's say I did mine and the average person on my team was $6,000. Do you think it's important to start promoting people to come to conference if every person that comes is roughly an equivalent of $6,000 to your annual paycheck? And what I mean by that is conference is a game changer. Conference is where people catch vision. Conference is where people have aha moments. Conference is where people sideline and network. So are you an amateur and asking, or are you promoting for people to come to conference so you gift them with the opportunity to catch their vision? The last point I'm going to mention to you is think bigger. Think bigger. There are 365 days in a business year. And there are 2 types of growth in this business. The first kind of growth I'm going to talk to you about is personal growth. And what I mean by that is doing the kinds of high income producing activities that's going to grow your business. I bet we could name right off the bat what are some of the highest income producing activities that we can do. Recruiting new team members, right? What else? That's number 1 in my book, is recruiting new people to the business, right? That is a personal growth for your business. The second kind of growth is support growth. helping your team members, helping them with doing the day-to-day, helping train them, etc. Now, I want you to take a look at your 365 days if you've been in the business longer than a year. If not, do it on however long you've been. And out of the 365 days, I want you to ask yourself, I want you to be honest here. I'll share with you my results because this was me being real. How many of those days did you spend focusing on the personal growth side, recruiting new team members into the business? How many of those days did you focus on support growth, helping your team? How many of those days were lost where none of those things took place? No personal growth, no support growth. Anybody courageous enough to share? And if not, no worries, I'll share mine. Because I had to answer these questions in a room of network marketing professionals. Here were my answers. I spent 180 days supporting, working with my team members, helping them out, helping them grow their businesses. I spent 5 days last year on personal growth, 5 days recruiting frontline activity, 5. I had 180 lost days. 180 days where I thought I was working. What does that mean anyway? Fixing my desk, sending a Facebook message, spending all day crafting a post. So here's the reality that hit me. I came up with a figure that I want to be making financially. And I took that figure and I divided it by 365 days. What it costs me every day of the year to work towards my goal. Some of you can do this right now if you want to. If you want to make $100,000, write that down right now. And then divide that number by 365. I have the figure here. It's $273 per day. If you are a network marketing professional and you're showing up to the job each day and you want to make 6 figures, it's going to cost you about $173 per day.
Okay, I'm going to turn the air. You pick a seat and get buckled and I'll...
There we go.
Thank you, Kathy.
So let me give you a little something to noodle on. Given that I had spent 180 lost days last year at 273, that's not the average that I want. I want to go higher, but $100,000, that would have cost me $49,140 on lost days in this business. So I had a lot of growing up to do. And in these 5 days, here's what I discovered. I discovered that network marketing professionals or people that are successful can view life one of 2 ways. They can view life as obstacles, or they can find the spaces. So here's what I mean by this. Imagine a crowded room. There's 300 people in this room, or the national conference. And Janet Black stands on stage and she says, everybody turn around. There's 2 exits. On your market set, everybody has to leave the room. In that moment, what do? Do you run for the first exit? Do you dodge people left and right? Do you let people go in front of you? Do you cut in front of people? Are you trying to get out of people's way? People are the obstacle. Your goal is to get out the door, but all you see are people. All you see are the obstacles. Or same scenario, you're getting to that back door, and instead of seeing the obstacles, you look for the spaces. You look and you slide. Space number 1, you glide into space 2, you glide into space 3, and soon enough, you effortlessly make your way to the door without the pressure or stress. Successful people in life find the spaces. So as I wrap up tonight, a minute over, I ask you this question. What are your obstacles? And are you looking for the spaces? Number 2, are you a network marketing professional? Are you unapologetic? Are you looking for your coach? Are you finding the strategies to be better, do better, have more, give more? Number 3, what is it that you want from this business? Because in order to be a professional, you have to start asking yourself those tough questions. Thank you guys for letting me share just kind of the summary of what I gained from this experience. And I'm going to tell you this. You can be and do and have and give anything that you want in this business. This is one of the greatest industries there is around. So let's have some fun.
Whoa, boy. Thank you, Jamie Cantrell. Thanks for being so vulnerable, so transparent, and thanks for telling the truth. You're amazing, and appreciate each and every one of you. This will be recorded. I'm going to listen to it again. Thank you, Jamie. Peace out. I know your team's waiting for you. Good night, everybody. Thanks for participating. Peace and blessings.